Yo, what's good, y'all? Man, it's your boy DavidBWylin, and I'm back again on another reaction. We got P. Diddy, 7 shocking details in the Sean Combs trafficking investigation, man. Now, we all been seeing what's going on, the craziness behind this, man. So I'm finna just react to this, see what details they are releasing in this. So yeah, make sure I run the likes up, sub new to my post notifications, man. Without further ado, let's get right into this.
The singer, whose latest album is called Love, is getting a lot of hate right now. This after federal authorities have raided 2 properties linked to him, one
crazy,
on each coast. Sean Combs appears to be part of an investigation into a sex trafficking operation. And of course, this comes as he faces multiple lawsuits that accuse him of assault and abuse, and he denies it all. We're bringing you the latest details to drop in connection with Diddy and the massive investigation. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So we have been focusing very heavily on the Sean Diddy Combs story. I mean, what's interesting about this is we actually were focusing on it, 3-4 weeks ago. I did a very big sidebar on it where I broke down all of the latest lawsuits facing the rapper, the mogul, the reported billionaire. And at the time, we were really highlighting one of the big lawsuits that he was facing. A producer named Little Rod Jones had sued him for sexual harassment, sexual assault, was alleging absolutely horrendous things against him.
You know what's crazy? All this stuff is coming out this year, bro. 2024. You see the whole thing with Nickelodeon. I'm sure Disney Channel is going to be a follow-up of the Disney Channel. What's going on? P. Diddy, like, all this stuff is just being brought to the front, like in front of everybody. Like, how is this stuff hidden for decades, bro? I mean, I ain't even gonna say hidden for decades because it was already, you know, just people like are now speaking up on this stuff, and I don't know, but clearly been going on for years before this was like actually blowing up. It's weird. Like, why now? Like, it should have been a big issue. Why 2 decades later, 3 decades, or whatever? Like, it's weird.
And this is on the heels of other lawsuits. Remember, Cassie Ventura had filed a lawsuit against him. She settled the day after, but she accused him of rape and human trafficking. I mean,
see, bro,
the worst stuff you can imagine.
Sending gift cards in bulk can be a nightmare. Tremendous is a platform that takes...
And then all of a sudden you fast forward, and this week you see Diddy's name throughout the whole news. Why? Because federal agents raided properties that were connected to the rapper this past Monday. And it was reported that this is all in connection to an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. Now, to be clear, it has not been 100% confirmed by authorities if Combs is a target or subject of the investigation. Certain outlets are reporting that Combs is the target. What do I mean by that? Target is essentially the person that prosecutors have evidence against. They're the one they're building a criminal case against. So if he's the target of the investigation, that is a very big deal.
Exactly.
It is being reported that the search was pursuant to a search warrant issued through the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. The probable cause that a crime has been committed, gathering evidence in connection of that, and clearly a federal judge signed off on this in order for these properties to be raided. And who were they raided by? Homeland Security carried out the raid. Homeland Security focuses on human trafficking investigations, among other things. Now, NBC News reported that several people have been interviewed by federal authorities in connection to allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, solicitation, distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. This is so eerily reminiscent and consistent with the allegations from all of these high-profile lawsuits that I mentioned that were filed against Combs, his family, his businesses, his associates, sex trafficking, sexual harassment, sexual assault. It was a wild scene, though, at these properties. You saw agents swarming onto the properties, sometimes with guns drawn. We saw video of several individuals, including who appear to be Combs' sons, Justin and King, in handcuffs. Now, it seems like they were detained, not arrested.
Okay.
And at the time of this recording, it is not clear
I was about to say, damn, what the hell they done
Sean
did,
Combs
bro?
is. There's been mixed reporting about his jet, his location. We don't really know. But what we do know is that at the time of this recording, neither he nor
Right, there's a
anyone else
bunch
has
of
been
like
arrested.
conspiracy theories, a bunch of like people making their assumptions and stuff like this, because nobody right now truly knows exactly what is going on. So of course people making their, they're just trying to piece stuff together. Like, you got the YouTube investigators, Twitter investigators, Facebook investigators, Instagram, whatever. Like, they feel like they got this shit down to a T, breaking it down, but gotta let the shit play out, see what happens, bro.
Arrested or charged or indicted in connection with this operation. There are some updates, though, and those updates are what we want to talk about. So first up, there was this idea, as I mentioned, this probable cause, the search warrant signed by a judge. That's a very big deal. And we still don't know what exactly they're looking for. When you talk about sex trafficking, human trafficking, you're talking about bringing people across state lines for sexual activities or commercial profit. Commercial sex acts is another way to say it. And so what they might be looking at, you might be looking at documents, you might be looking at computers, electronic devices. One of the things that stands out to me when I think about one of these prior lawsuits, Little Rod Jones, this producer, he alleged that Sean Combs has cameras in all of his homes, and these cameras captured a lot of this illicit behavior as a form of blackmail. So was it possible they were looking at the camera systems? We just don't know. But one of the big updates that I have to talk about is this statement from Combs' attorney, Aaron Dyer. This statement reads, and it was from yesterday, it says, quote, "Yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name." A lot of things to break down. Number one, yes, he hasn't currently been charged with anything. The civil cases, one settled, the other ones are still ongoing, so he has not been found liable. That is all true. That could change. Is it premature?
See, I like how this guy explains stuff, bro. He's not over here just putting, charges on this man without, getting the facts and, breaking down this shit for us to get a full understanding, because like I said, it's YouTube investigators and stuff like that. They're over here piecing stuff together and saying, oh, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. But whole time, you gotta let this shit just play out, bro. These are some serious allegations, serious things that have been committed and that he's being accused of committing. So you don't want to just say, oh yeah, he did. But we also see that people, they coming out, speaking up, saying this and that. So a lot of stuff is being said. And when he get his day, in court, whatever, and it come down to it, bro, you gotta let that shit play out. It's definitely, these acts, these are not motherfucking acceptable at all, bro. At all. None of the shit he been accused of. So I'm not saying that if he guilty of this shit, yeah, let whatever happen, bro. But right now, people just, jumping the gun right now.
Possibly. One of the things that I've noted is that you could say it's unique that indictments, arrests have not come in conjunction with a massive raid like this. Sometimes, usually they do.
At Amazon Freight, we know the only thing better than having a friend with a...
But other times they don't. You need to build a case. And you hear this idea about perhaps that federal authorities have spoken with a number of individuals that might have given them probable cause to then go for the search warrant to find more information. We've interviewed Tracy Walder, former FBI CIA agent, who said that you go onto these properties this raid, one of the things you needed to do was to actually retain evidence, make sure it's not destroyed. Perhaps the authorities were tipped off that evidence was about to be destroyed. Not clear. But the idea of this military-level force I thought was so interesting because we have to remember, again, going back to the lawsuits. Again, these are lawsuits. These are allegations, different standard. We're not talking about a criminal case. But when we talk about that and we look at the allegations in these lawsuits, there has been allegations of firearms possession, that Diddy forced his associates to carry weapons for him. There was a shooting that was referenced, 2 shootings. Let me rephrase, 2 shootings were referenced
his house.
In that Little Rod Jones lawsuit, where Diddy engaged in this or allegedly engaged in this, and then had people cover up for him. So, with those thoughts in mind,
wasn't that like a pool party or something? Well, one of them was like a pool party at his house or something like that.
And you're looking at how big these properties are. It is not surprising that you see this level of force. Authorities don't know what they're going into, and they have to detain people, bring them outside, not only for their safety, but for the safety of the people they detained as well as they're going into these properties. So the level of military force, you could argue, was justified. He mentioned that these electronics were seized. We don't know what the contents of them are. We don't know exactly what they're looking for, but that digital footprint, as we've covered in a number of cases, can be quite substantial. And ABC has reported that agents seized a number of electronic devices. There's a lot of legal issues surrounding the Diddy case. Makes you think about how important it is to have a great lawyer, right? Well, that is especially true in personal injury cases, which can be very, very tough to navigate. But enter Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of us here on Sidebar. You know why they're so big? Because they win a lot. They are all about fighting for the compensation their clients deserve, even if that means having to take a case to trial. And they have secured multi-million-dollar verdicts all across the country. I mean, recently...
We're gonna go ahead and end this one right here, bro, because this video gonna be already long. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it too long, bro. But we got an idea. We got a little hints. You let us... I mean, he said 7 shocking details. Clearly, we didn't get to all of them. But this video is on... What was it? Crime and... What's the name of this channel right here, actually? Oh, Law and Crime Network. So, if you want to watch the rest of the video, if you haven't seen it, you go ahead and watch it on your own time, because I'm going to finish this video off, but I'm ending my reaction off right here. But, like I said, we got to let this play out, bro, see what's going to happen. There's a lot of things being said, a lot of things going on behind this, too. So, people coming forth, everything gonna get brought to the light, bro. Bottom line. So we'll see how this ends. But this end of that, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Make sure I run up a like, 7 new turn on post notifications. Y'all can follow me on IG and Twitter. Links in the description. Hit me over there. We're going crazy road to that 200K, man. Let's keep running it up. It's your boy DavidBWylin, and I'm out.